Abusia ha gossip 247. So won't subscribe to your channel na no subscribe. Upload new video. Open your notification say you upload the latest video na waba behwe. Abusia enti ene year His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wabande a year first class travel for a year government appointees. And they was say a year akakabe nsem ni kukurudu ne sa lavish lifestyle no ni nyina no appointees government appointees watwa so. Mo biara enye ne ho akesesem live lavish ewo a year Ghana, Mahama hasi. Afenyo Markin is also in the news, but yenko tie John Dramani Mahama.
I must, however, remind you of the same caution I sounded to your colleagues who have already taken office, that the hallmark of this government will be modesty and respect for the Ghanaian people. There will be no room for arrogance and pomposity in this government. The resources that you'll be working with belong to the Ghanaian people who put us in office. Those resources are not to be wasted on opulence and extravagance. I've asked the Chief of Staff to write to all government appointees that I've imposed a ban on non-essential travel forthwith to cut down expenditure. Any travel that is deemed essential and necessary must be cleared first with the Office of the Chief of Staff. And such travels will have to be undertaken in modesty, no first class. Also, all traces of affluence and lavish lifestyle are to be avoided. The people of Ghana are enduring difficult times occasioned by hardships resulting from the economic mismanagement of the last 8 years. And ours is to work to lift them out of this hole, not to compound it further. On Monday, I'll be receiving the report of the committee I set up to prepare the way for the implementation of Operation Recover All the Loot, oral. Upon receipt of this report, appropriate action will be taken against those who are deemed to have acted against the economic and financial interests of this country through corruption and related acts. While it is all well and good to hold past office holders accountable for their actions, it is even better to prevent the incidence of corruption in the first place. And as I've already indicated many times, I'll be holding all my appointees in this government to the strictest standards of accountability to ensure that the mandate and resources entrusted to us by the people of Ghana go only into working for them and improving their standards of living.
Said without any equivocation that the committee's hearing must not be a matter for public debate. The video is there, I've procured it, and members can play it. Mr. Speaker also went further to say that there are things that are known to us as MPs, some words that we use that are best understood by us. The public may not appreciate it. Mr. Speaker, we were of the view that in view of Mr. Speaker's absence from the jurisdiction, we should engage with the Speaker on this matter. The majority leader and I agreed and discussed with the chair of the committee that he should put his deliberations on ice. Mr. Speaker will come today, Friday. And when he comes, we would meet Mr. Speaker so that we discuss the way forward. Mr. Speaker, let me say this. It's very regrettable that the chair of a committee who is supposed to be a neutral referee has granted no less than 6 interviews to the media, casting aspersions against my person, attacking my personality and the minority, pronouncing guilt and all. If we as parliamentarians are talking about collective peace, then each one of us must keep to the side of the bargain. I have written a memo to Mr. Speaker as part of the due process that I want to follow, but it is unacceptable that there will be live telecasts of events that Mr. Speaker has directed that it shouldn't be a public hearing. And I emphasize this because those were the orders of Mr. Speaker. The audiovisual can be procured. I procured it. We can check it. That is exactly what Mr. Speaker said. So I don't understand why there is this public hearing where witnesses are being invited, people are saying all manner of things. I've restrained my side because I want to respect Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, I want the public to know that what is happening by the chair of the committee is being done in bad faith. That is not how a neutral referee is supposed to behave. Enough of the insults, the attacks, the aspersions, and the castigation. When we don't even know the outcome, he was on radio saying that the minority is guilty. Guilty of what? Guilty of what? We would all tell our story. The threat to our lives, where people were elbowing us on the stairs, where people who are not MPs were part of the struggle in that room. Who brought them there? We all want peace. If indeed we are putting the matter to a peaceful rest, then in the national interest, let's all retreat and conduct ourselves as such. Mr. Speaker, that is my second most important issue.
If they were serious with the numbers that they have, they would have been able to bring at least 91. If you are 183 plus independent making 187, it shouldn't be any difficulty at all bringing 91 into the chamber to commence business. This is a clear indication how weak the NDC majority are. This is a clear indication of how unserious they are with regards to the governance of this country. And that is why the Speaker had to adjourn the House, because they themselves were not serious. If they don't have the numbers, it's a constitutional matter. If they don't have the numbers, it is stated in the Constitution in Article 102 that you need to have 91 for you to commence business. That is the quorum to commence business. When it comes to decision, you need to have at least 138 or 139 to take a decision. If we observe that they don't have, that means that they are not ready to do any business. It will not be our call.
Security Chief Whip no kade more committees kade warrior say vetting committee one inquiry, so say and members almost 9 what's name. There's other committees are not paying a warrior committee meeting and one way. Inti time na yeshasen na manana some of them committees in the way we were about. Inti weapon of repair do be ambra. I mean, we do want to very few people know. But what bay? But one day here, bana we raise the quorum issue now. It will nay do harbor. One day here, bana number no bosso wanted. And I was started a woman there, a Christian, a whole catcher, one crofunda, one co. One few wanting here, bana one word feeble. Just we make one point there. Quorum no one so. But Nkanyimpa na nkaye war on ground. Okay, na ground zero. Ona what na cafeteria. Ona wo hallway. Ona wo bo timing. Onye na wo baka ho. Nkaye bodu quorum na nkande ejuma ye be de be yen wa konenyim. But oftentimes why there for me I'm sad and a little bit my disappointed kakra because na kamudwin there in abana Ghana for 2 men na euphoria obi anya nyagin na nka abana dwuma den ka be no wano na ya serious kakra. But in the last month hwasamosi ekwan wokokwen eyisi na yede na etim na kam na yemde na chede why there mumuda yen serious